Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Paradise Theater for our very first episode of Echoes of Cosmos. Now, for those of you having tuned into Wednesday nights the past about month and a half almost, we have been diligently working on a collaborative world. Someplace I think we've just called it the Dozen Worlds. I think. I mean, we've used the Sol system in a couple times as a reference, but
I don't think we ever
I,
agreed on an actual in-universe name for the solar system.
no.
Yeah.
And if you guys are fine with it, I might as well just leave it that way.
Yeah, let different people have different names for it.
Yeah,
There you go. Works for me. But today we are in the ruins, situated beneath the wreck of an airship on the plains of Aurelia. Dux, you have not been a fan of the readings coming off of your wrist-mounted sensor. Even though the sky is blue, and normally that would be a good thing, you know, or you've been here on Aurelia long enough to know that the only time the sky is blue and you can actually see the sky above you is when you're in one of two places. Either on the extreme leading edge of one of the various superstorms that roams the plains of Aurelia, or in the eye of one. As beautiful as it may be, the particulate sensor that you've got on your wrist is telling you that the count is slowly climbing. It's not dangerous yet, but in a few hours, it might be a problem. But that's okay, because the entrance you have been looking for is in front of you.
Yep. Looks like
Let's
this is
get-
the calm.
Go ahead.
Looks like this is the calm before the storm. Guess we might as well go in. We'll need shelter anyway.
Are you in Brunhilde, or are you out of Brunhilde right now?
No. I guess. Oh, we're kind of in a mech graveyard and amongst all these ruins.
I was gonna say you. Go ahead.
I probably would be in it.
Okay.
Being.
The reason I ask is because, unfortunately, this entrance is not mech-shaped nor mech-sized.
Okay.
So, if you want to enter, you will have to dismount.
Yeah, I'll do
I will say, you have been fairly successful at avoiding the keepers as of late. You're starting to get a feel for their patterns, when they'll be certain places, and you're pretty sure this is kind of a dead spot in their search pattern.
perfect.
So, you park Brunhilde and step out into the crisp, chilly air of Aurelia.
Yep, definitely the calm before the storm. And
Brunhilde gives you a cheerful beep as it goes into standby mode. Were you going to give... Did you have the basic NHP? I forget.
basic NHP.
That was the one where you could give it simple commands and it would do things by itself.
I don't think I had that.
That's fine. You park it, and it then beeps, telling you it's going into power saving mode.
Cool.
And you step down and face the entrance once again before bravely taking that plunge. You've known for the past, how long have you been out here?
Probably a couple weeks at this point.
Okay. You've known for the past week or so that each of these entrances similar to this one you found have all been a part of the same large cavern system. You haven't been able to get more than a few 100 feet in. However, the scans you have been able to take suggest that this part of the building, or whatever labyrinthian complex underneath all of this rubble, this section may be in better condition.
Hmm.
At least that's the hope.
Sure.
So, you take the plunge, and this time you get lucky. There's there is a heave in the floor, basically where a stress point is in the floor that has started to push the floor up towards the ceiling. But this heave is not super big quite yet. You imagine in the 300 odd years since all of this went to ruin, it's moved maybe 4 feet. So you don't have a ton to worry about, at least for you. If you were trying to get a mech over it, that would be a problem. But your expert spelunking skills, you are able to crawl over this heave in the middle of the floor and down into the greater complex below. And my, what a complex it is. Around a few corners, a stuck door that more or less disintegrates in your hand as you try to force it open. You find yourself on what you can only describe as an ancient assembly line. A cavernous area full of just machinery everywhere. And what seems to be an assembly line down below. This little area has taken you into a catwalk above everything. And from the bird's eye view, you can see that at the very least, most of the ceiling is intact. There are a couple of places where it looks like buildings have either been forced through the ceiling or rubble has eventually managed to work its way into the crevices, weaken it, and cave in portions of it. So you can see a little bit of daylight coming through. But other than that, it's it's a metal jungle sprawled beneath your feet.
All right. Well, I'd say Dux would look at the assembly line part of this and be like, it's like my old job, but in the dark apocalyptic future. And she wandering around, probably just looking for whatever she could find, vintage tech or vintage mech stuff. Rather than the ones in the graveyard, she doesn't pillage those because that's not a good thing to do. But in here, where it was being built, there's nothing wrong with that. So, looking around for parts or just things to look at.
Absolutely. You manage to find your way down a set of very, very sketchy stairs that creak and groan under your weight as you make your way down to the shop floor. Stepping in, you can't possibly imagine how quickly they must have been able to turn out a mech with an assembly line like this. These what looks like miles of track house 2 pads for the feet of the mech as it travels slowly down and is constructed piece by piece by these giant mechanical arms. You look like... Go ahead.
I just said, wow, Red Giant on steroids.
Very much so. This is a level of automation that even Red Giant, with their ability to pump out massive freighters at a prodigious rate, are completely dwarfed by. In your head, you're looking at how close together these stations are and just how many arms are on each station. You imagine, well, as you're making your way towards the line, you see that even these arms themselves are on linear rail. Just off to the side of these giant pads that are themselves on giant linear rail. It looks to you like the line never stops moving. Much like today with us, if you were looking like a production line for a vehicle. How these arms will just move back and forth on linear rail, following each mech as it goes about its task. You can see that you are near the middle of the process here, where the legs have been established and the cores have been mounted to the torso, but the arms, cockpit, and extremities are not yet installed. That means... Go ahead.
No, keep going, yeah.
That being said, as you're looking around at parts, let me take a look real fast. Is it this one? Yes. I need a bigger one of those. Thank you. Okay. As you are looking at these parts that you're grabbing, they're not Terrace technologies. They're actually GS parts. Guild Solomon, just like your mech, just like Brunhilde. You're not sure anyone has ever known that there was a GS factory, much less any sort of outpost for GS here on Aurelia. But go ahead.
I'd say not what I was looking for, but a gold mine nonetheless. Greedily grabbing parts and random things.
Immediately, you're starting to see things like, oh my god, those are the bearings that I've been like reshaping and trying to save for the past 3 months, and here they are in a box, almost brand new, except for 6 inches of dust on them. Grab that, throw that in the pack. Oh my god, this is official GS bearing grease. Oh my god, you don't know how long it's been since I've had real bearing grease and not just thickened machine oil. Grabbing all sorts of stuff to fill your pack with. And that's when you notice it. Off to the right, in the shattered skeleton of this place, you almost would have missed it, except for a dim flicker in the corner of your eye. a... You're not sure what to call it. It looks like there might have been an opening or a hallway here at some point that's just been crushed by the decades and the weight on top of this place. It's been lowered and widened to where, you're scraping the top of your head, just trying to get in. But you see it again down this hallway. This dim flicker, just for a moment. You wouldn't necessarily care. On Red Giants the entire time. Shit, oh, look, another light bulb's going out. That's only the 30,000th one this quarter. Because that's just what Red Giants do. They burn through light bulbs, they burn through fusion cores, they burn through everything else. But here, no one's touched this place in 3 centuries. What could possibly hold a charge that long? Or who's been here?
Right. Yeah, I'd say definitely crouching, trying to see in and get a better look at whatever's there in the distance. And a lot quieter now. I'd say being a lot quieter now, because wondering, honestly hoping that it's not someone else, but rather just something there.
Well, the first few feet open up into your average size hallway, like I've got pictured here for us.
Oh. Nice. Okay.
Dead and empty, but structurally sound. You can see from these beams that, well, you heard your grandpa complain incessantly on Plucto about how nothing was ever built to code. You see this? That's 15 inches, and this is 16 inches. Those ribs are unstable. Incessantly. But here, you can tell that everything was meticulously constructed to a much higher spec than you ever saw back home. It's not ramshackle or haphazard. The spackle on the wall is well hidden with paint. It's not crumbling before your eyes or been given the landlord's special, stucco and paper or whatever. And you see it again, just down whatever's through that door there. You see it just for a moment, this dim flicker again.
All right. As she gets closer, she's also observing, just kind of around her, yes, impressed by the structural integrity, but also looking for tracks or to see if there's been any other recent sign of life, or if everything is still just covered in dust and nasty.
The dust is incredibly thick on the floor, and your wrist-mounted particle indicator is chirping at you that there are high concentrations of toxic dust in this area.
Quick in and out.
Thankfully, you did manage to find a fresh pair of oxygen filters or air filters for your suit before you went on this escapade. And they're not supposed to be cleaned and reused, but you've only done it like 3 times. What's not reused anymore,
Right. I know what I'm doing. Keep going.
Exactly. That's probably one of the first things you're. I forget. Does he have a name, or is it just your grandpa? I forget.
Cipher. I think is what I called
That's
him.
right.
Yeah.
Gramps, I think you wanted to call him.
Yeah.
Call him at one
Yeah,
point.
Grandpa's fine too. Yeah. Whatever.
Let's
Yeah.
see here.
Yeah, because we weren't
just
blood
need-
related. It was kind of a mentor type of situation, but she just called him Gramps or Grandpa just to call him something.
That's right.
Nah, she's definitely got that
Yeah.
chip on her shoulder, like, I'm fine. I know what I'm doing.
Well, he didn't It's not that he intentionally tried to teach you the used mech dealership, special way of doing things, but it was definitely okay, look. You're stranded on your mech 50 miles from nowhere and you got half a tank of oxygen left. You're not making it anywhere on foot, and the only way you're getting home is if this hunk of junk starts up again. Let me show you how to do it the right way. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You always got the sense from him that there was something more going on in the background. For example, you didn't expect when you started working for him to do anything more than probably sweep the shop front until, you died or something, but
Yeah.
he really did take you under his wing and show you the ropes. And more than just the ropes. And you're thankful he did, because as you step into this room, you find yourself not on the mechanic side of technology, but on the science side of technology.
Mhm.
You remember vividly him not showing you any of this because nobody had any of this technology. But you remember the twinkle in his eye as he described these vast computer banks and the things that you could do with all of this stuff.
Mm.
And especially, you listened to his stories, his fairy tales, really, of these things he called memory cores.
Mhm.
And if you're not mistaken, what you are staring at right now, sitting hooked up to these computer banks, is a small memory core. About the size of a briefcase, round and silver, with a small collections of diodes on the surface. And there it is again. You see, just for a moment, the dim flicker of some sort of ring light right on the surface of it. This thing's still active.
So the old man wasn't lying. Hello there. And getting closer to it. Not touching it, but probably about to. Just investigating everything. Don't want to blow it up, but
Of course not. You immediately look at these ancient fittings and see that it's not hardwired in. It's made to be hot swapped. Which is super convenient because you're not sure how long it would take you to find any sort of controls to safely disconnect this. But you could, honestly, you're kind of lucky. Anytime you found a console like this, it's always been hacked to pieces and scavenged to death. But here, this thing is in surprisingly good shape. Don't get me wrong, still dust covered. But what your grandfather had lovingly referred to as fairy tech is sitting right there in front of you. Just as if it's been waiting for you.
Well, looks like fate is on my side today. I
What's
guess.
the plan?
Huh? About the size of a briefcase. So obviously, I'm taking it or doing something to where I can transport or be able to. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd look and see if there's any way I could connect to it or get it
Well,
with me. But thinking about the journey back.
let's see. You are familiar enough with this kind of technology that I will give you that I will say you know how to connect it easily or disconnect it easily. If you want to learn anything more about the interface, I'm going to need you to make me. Let's take a look at your character sheet.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to roll me a d20, and you can add one of your bonuses to it.
Okay. Let's see.
It's in the narrative tab.
Yes, narrative. Yeah, I'd probably add the hack or fix bonus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me one. Do I need to tell the DC, Ron, or can I keep that under my hat? I forget.
You can keep it under your hat.
Okay.
Do I just click the dice +2 on that
Yep.
bonus one? Okay. Alright, let's.
That's odd. Even I can't see it. It says you privately rolled some dice. In the bottom, on the bottom right, where it says, well, it probably says private roll on the drop down. You can switch it to public.
Where is yeah. Public roll. Dang, I rolled good too. Can you see?
You'll never know.
Okay, dang it. Alright, I'll do it again. Oh, damn.
Oh, that's a 6. I thought that was an. Okay. You're looking at it, and it's hard to tell, but it looks like at one point this something happened to make this memory core go into a reset, and it's continually. That's what this intermittent strobe is. This it's stuck in a reset loop. So to get it out of its loop, you're probably going to have to cycle the power on it, which is simple enough. It's just that button in the center of the ring.
Yeah, alright. Well, I guess I wouldn't see any harm in it. Go ahead and do it, see what happens.
Great. Let's cut to Khalid Imam Khan.
Yes.
Would you like to go by Imam, Khan, Khalid?
Khalid is fine.
Khalid. That's going to get real confusing in a while, but okay. Khalid, how long have you been out here? Let's actually cut to here. Have you been out here in the what you know as Ground Zero for the Genocide War?
Honestly, probably barely any time at all. In fact, this is probably immediately post drop pod.
Ah, yes, the drop pod. The
Which
last
makes
thing.
the question was because the ship that he came aboard would have asked
I have
permission
Go ahead.
from the, because I assume the keepers have an orbital presence.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. So your ship, the Hinjar Khalid, did receive permission for a hot drop into this area. They did warn that any sort of salvaging operation was prohibited. And they also did mention that within 24 hours of when you dropped, a supercell would be passing through the area and to use extreme caution. They laid out the effects of these storms in which, you are probably already intimately familiar. Acid rain, toxic dust, and the proclivity every now and then to just vaporize people.
These storms are probably different because Khalid has never, living within the Nash, living within the atmosphere of a gas giant, he's never seen ground. He's never been under normal atmospheric pressure.
This is
It's
his
always
first
just
drop.
been whipping storms.
This is his first drop then.
Yes, this is his
As
first
a-
time in the saddle.
As
He's
a
done
night
plenty of
courser
simulation
errant.
training.
Go ahead.
He's done plenty of simulation training, but he's never done a hot drop before.
I see. Yeah, as a night courser, we'll call it errant, just because that implies that you're not necessarily.
I am on quest.
Basically, yes. So yes, they did lay out in detail, hey, these storms are not like anything anywhere else in the solar system. Toxic acid rain, toxic dust, the proclivity to just vaporize people, what they call god smacking people. At least that's the term they used. Honestly, it was kind of refreshing to have somebody just really disseminate information and not because they were going to gain anything out of it, but because they wanted you to be safe. How does that square?
That makes sense. Kith Khalid don't have the numbers to where they can go throwing away people. And I don't imagine that any of the Kith have a ton of numbers to where they can sacrifice skilled pilots needlessly.
No, but at the same time, you're not sure other Kith would have done the same. Which is why I feel this is different.
Yeah. Well, it's just another reason to respect Kith Khalid above all others. their technical expertise leads to a compassion that this solar system has been lacking for centuries.
Except when it comes to telling us how to find you. I mean, I'm sure it's easy enough. Oh, we're in the Nash. Okay,
Where?
but how do I get there?
Oh, yeah,
Where in
we're-
the Nash? How do...
We're in hell.
Smile. But where? So, yes,
Classic.
you're not sure you've ever done a drop like this, for the moment, I'm imagining this being like a giant ODST pod.
Oh yeah, it's a 40k drop pod. It's like a dreadnought drop pod. It's
As
this big
Go ahead.
box essentially that's just rocket fired out of the ship, and all it has on board is retro thrusters to keep itself from retro thrusters and like an iron halo parachute to keep itself from being so fast that it pulverizes you when you land.
Mm.
And this
I
one
can
probably
s-
doesn't have it because they don't expect a contested landing, but when the doors would pop off, some of them are armed with shrapnel launchers to get people away from the pod.
that makes sense. And as you're rocketing down to the surface, the altimeter in your HUD ticks down 30,000, then 20,000, and 10. The thrusters deploy, attempting to slow your descent as you watch as your speedometer slowly, painfully decreases from thousands of miles to hundreds of miles to impacting the surface at a nice, smooth 30 miles an hour. As the internal dampeners of the drop pod manage to take the worst of the shock, you still can't help but feel like maybe your L5 vertebrae isn't where it used to be.
Oh, definitely. It was one of those cases where as soon as the rockets, the retro thrusters kicked in, he followed everything that he was trained for and did the pilot deep breath hold, try to keep your airways open when you go under hard G-force.
It was a rough ride, and you know, because you followed the procedure, any injuries are not service related.
Yeah, the moment the pressure bolts cook off and the door opens, Castiferum will come clunking out with its pulse rifle in hand.
Now remind me, you have an NHP aboard, yes?
I
is
do,
it
but it's like in RP because I don't have it like actually usable yet.
Oh, you're fine. Is this the one that you can give basic commands to and it'll do it?
No,
No. Okay.
that's why I meant like in RP. It's it's his little companion, but they are not like an NHP yet.
Right. You probably step out, and the NHP reminds you, warning, dust levels, high toxicity detected. Warning. Storm
Yeah, he
front.
probably
25 miles. Go ahead.
like he probably reaches up and flicks off something to turn off the bitchin' Betty.
I can see it. Storm front. 25 miles west by...
And then just takes a deep breath and is like, Mirage, one of these days we need to get you up in one of these things.
Mirage.
And Mirage is just like, what a strange thing to say, Captain. I'm not service rated for mech. I'm not service rated for a mechanized frame.
Remind me who Mirage is.
His little helper buddy, the nanny bot. that he
Oh,
carries
that's right.
around.
That you're gonna turn into. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And from the outside, there's probably been a lot of dust that was kicked up by this drop pod hitting the ground. And it's just the weighty ka-chunk, ka-chunk. As Cassiferum steps out from it, the light on its head is like a single mono eye scanning around while the head stays in place.
Kinjar 1, this is Kinjar Actual. Do you copy?
Landing procedure has gone through.
Roger. Returning drop pod. Good luck out there. Be advised, storm front approaching.
We'll be gone before the storm comes through here.
Understood. Flicking you coordinates for landing zone approximately 4 clicks west in clearing of buildings once you are done.
Position has been located inside HUD. I'm moving towards the anomaly site now.
Roger. Going radio silent. Over and out.
Yeah, Klee goes complete silent running as far as he can. The reactor has to be online to power the mech, but he powers off radio, he powers off anything not necessary right now to try and ghost any sensors in the area. Technically, they've been allowed to land, but they weren't allowed to take anything. And he's getting off this planet with the core.
One way or the other. That was 2.5 hours ago. In the time since, you have had... How do I put this? A hell of a time here. Places that look stable are not, and places that look like they have stood for hundreds of years seem to collapse merely at your proximity. Dead this place may be, but it's still dreaming.
Oh, and there's probably been times where a building slumps over into a wreck. Cassiferum comes up, shoulders the pulse rifle, and then even as the dust settles, it's still locked in that same position, like a toy, except for that eye tracking any potential movement. This glowing blue eye set in this steely gray-blue body.
And your passive sensors are working overtime to try and compensate for the lack of active ones. At every disturbance in the cityscape, you find that the levels of toxins in the air keep rising. And whether you like it or not, it's one of the best ones for working on mechs. Hexachromium, used in primers everywhere. It's a forever chemical, and it is just... It's good for actually building things out of metal because it keeps oxygen out, and it serves as a very good surface to paint on top of. For everything else, it's a nightmare. You're also picking up... Go ahead.
There's probably a scene of him walking down what probably used to be a street in some far-flung, like the edge of this settlement. And I imagine that there are signs of the war everywhere. Destroyed mechs, vehicles, orbital debris from spaceships crashing, things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're
Moving
also picking
through one of those. Mirage peeks up in his head as his helmet glows with her tracer light. She's like,
It's hard to believe that a place like this could actually exist.
Hmm. What do you have to say to that? Do you ignore it and keep paying attention to the
he takes a
surroundings?
deep breath and probably a weak chuckle and is like, I never expected a VI to be afraid of ghosts.
At that moment, a warning on your HUD spikes as it runs into higher than expected levels of iridite, which is the main chemical in something, or main element in something called allodyne. Another forever chemical that never, ever, ever goes away, and the simple touch of it will soak through whatever skin it's touching before you ever have a chance to wash it off into your bloodstream. And congrats, you've just been given a higher chance of cancer. Anyway,
Yummy.
I can keep going the amount of awful things in here. Asbestos
eat
for
them?
one. Do you like
As a
talcum powder?
treat. As a treat.
Do you like talcum powder? Because asbestos dust is pretty much the same thing. Well,
And maybe
okay.
on top of my ice cream.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to give the talcum powder sausage a 1.5 out of 5.
You do run into several hot spots on your Geiger. Burnt out mechs leave behind all sorts of yummy polonium goodness, radium goodness, plutonium goodness. All of that.
And those
fun
are
stuff.
probably where Castaferum starts sprinting through those areas just to not be in them too long. Taking
Time,
these wide,
distance,
long strides.
and amount. Yep. Castaferum knows what you're supposed to do. And you eventually make your way to where this, shall we say, anomaly is what you referred to it as. It was geotagged.
The primary anomaly.
Problem. Before you get to, well, first problem, this spot is quite obviously unstable. You can feel the ground shift underneath you, and you are politely informed that further mech movement into this area not advised. Second, you can look and see that the particle count has tripled since you arrived. You're pretty sure that the Stormfront wasn't headed this direction, right?
Gotta go faster.
Second,
Timetable is closing.
where it's geotagged, it looks like a giant, no better word to describe it than a dragon. This giant claws have come and rent great holes in the earth. And of course, that's where it's geotagged, because it was only recently that these holes were probably made, meaning that all of the readings that they would have gotten would have come out of these holes, which means they said, oh, right here. We don't know whether it's up or down or far down, but it looks like the reading is coming from down there. And your mech is not going, well, the ground is not going to support the weight of your mech any further.
He'd probably find a safe spot to let Castaferum come to a kneel. Somewhere where there's either enough rubble or brushes or anything to cover it up.
Okay.
Then, with a beep beep beep, the whole chest of it comes apart and opens up like an egg, And he steps out in his carapace suit, hops down, goes to the back of the mech, pulls a weird-looking long-arm rifle of some kind, slings that over his shoulder, checks the sword at his waist, and is like, "Well, Mirage, guess we're hoofing it from here. Neither of us have hooves."
I love it. So you take your first steps onto this unstable ground.
First time he's
Where are
been
you
on
headed?
ground with his own 2 feet.
It's different feeling earth beneath your feet instead of a bulkhead. Instead of that solid, reassuring flat surface, it's uneven. You quickly learn you have to pick your feet up just a little bit more, especially on this rough terrain, to avoid catching your foot on things. And the dust likes to move. It feels closer, for us, would be like walking on powdery snow, interspersed with all sorts of branches, than it would be, well, anything else, really. But you make your way over to the edge of these holes in the ground, and looking down, the daylight dimly shows construction down there.
No one should be building this deep down. Aurelia's a dead world. What would people want here? Perhaps they're here for the same things that you are. Then we've got to move.
Interesting. Where to? Are you looking
Down.
for Okay. Do you have a method to get down these holes, or are you looking for a path down?
Do I? He'll activate his Omni Hook and see if there is any technology in the area, anything like a service elevator, like those big diagonal running construction
I know what you're
elevators.
talking about. To your south, they light up bright. They don't possess any power, but that doesn't mean there isn't necessarily a service ladder.
That's probably where it would be. So he'll head to the south.
Okay. Heading to the south, you gingerly pick your way over what looks like the last stand of a security force. Armor, shattered helmets, and bones peek up through the dust. Ancient, weathered things. Along with a large mech, a Barbarossa, slumped against the doorway of this giant elevator. Its Colossus cannon still pointed towards the sky.
There's actually a moment as Khalid comes to a stop near all of this. Very thankful through all of this dust and all of these grasping plants that he's been wearing a very thick, heavy weather cloak. And it's probably already tinged the color of this dust, especially along the bottom. But he stops by the Barbarossa and reaches out, probably puts a hand to its leg, touches the forehead of his helmet to it, and says,
You'll be remembered. It is.
Barbarossa says nothing.
If I can find where I'm going.
looks up at the Barbarossa.
Only you could tell me where all of this stuff went.
But it'll move towards... There has to be an interior to this, which is probably where the elevator, or the elevator or the ladder would be.
There is a human-sized door, actually near the Barbarossa, next to the quite obviously mech-sized door.
But I imagine the Barbarossa's slumped in front of the mech-sized door.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't look like it was trying to get in. It looked like it was trying to keep people out.
Yeah, or just the happenstance of how it collapsed.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Okay.
as they say, every battlefield tells a story. You
He'll
pass... Go ahead.
reach behind and pull this long arm and flick a button as a volt lock comes into place. It looks almost like a flintlock, but rather than being held by a powder charge, it uses electrical discharge.
Mm.
And it whines as it starts up. He will go inside, weapon at the ready.
All right. You find yourselves on a stairwell. And it looks like it's going to be your only avenue down. Because the man elevator next to the mech elevator is, of course, out of power. But, fortunately for you, the stairs are intact as you make your way down. You see about halfway down that to your left, you have view of the platform that this elevator is. And it looks like perched in the center of the elevator is some sort of vehicle. Not a mech, an APC maybe, or no, wait, your third time around you look and you're close enough to actually see that it's got a large red cross on the side of this six-wheeled vehicle.
Medical vehicle of some kind, then perhaps.
Some variety. You don't see anyone else on the lift or anything else, just that vehicle. It looks like the platform jammed on its way up or down, and you can tell because it's at an angle, several degrees. As you make your way down further, you can find at the base of this stairwell more evidence of a struggle. An ancient struggle.
How dark is it down here?
Well, in the stairwell, it's dark enough you need, you probably have a helmet light of some sort on.
Oh, when it gets dark enough that he needs it, as he's going down, he takes his left hand off the front of the gun and makes a very precise gesture, then holds his hand upward, like palm up, as a small
orb of
flickering
light.
fox light pops into his hand.
I like it. You make your way down, and as you step out of the base of this stairwell, over some more rather unfortunate skeletons of ages long past, you're able to extinguish the foxlight as you see that those holes you saw in the ground earlier translate into decent skylights for a mech factory.
Oh, he is recording all of this to his data plate.
Of course. Very quickly, you see that you're at the end of the line, and there is, or rather was, a mech looking for all the world as if it was ready to step out into the world, up the elevator, and make its debut. Its arms complete, its weapons slotted neatly into holsters on its side and back. its fusion core, once whirring merrily, now cold and dead. Like a statue that some Medusa had planted there, as if to remind everyone who was really in charge.
I hope your little ghost stories aren't real, Mirage.
She stays quiet.
I was gonna say, if you have a better idea of what Mirage would say than me, so I will let you be Mirage. Or I will ask you to be Mirage. That's a better way. Because
I'm fine with that.
But as you work your way slowly back down to where that pin is, or was, you see that, yes, this was once upon a time a mech laboratory. Or actually a mech plant, a factory. These giant rails slowly rolled along, carrying these mechs as they were put together by machinery. You can't imagine how much power it would take to run a facility like this. You are very keenly aware from a very young age about how your station worked. And that's because in the event of an emergency, everyone would have been required to help save your station. To help save Kith Khalid. But
Exactly.
here, you have no idea. All of these things centuries old, almost like a museum frozen in time. As you walk your way down the line, you see bright stenciled painting on one of these arms that's been shielded from the UV from above and from the collapsing roofs. Guild Suleiman. Right down the floor. Exactly where they would have put it. Go ahead.
Vaguely aware of Guild Suleiman.
Mm-hmm.
They probably don't have dealings with much of, they have dealings with Saurus, but I imagine that any communication between planets at this point is pretty sparse.
Yeah. You know dimly that your mech is of Guild Suleiman make.
Mm-hmm.
But the mechs here, nearly 400 years old, look almost nothing like what you pilot now. These things are heavy, chunky things. These machines of war. Nowadays, I mean, most places can't afford to put that kind of resources into something only to kill each other. It's gotta be for something else too. It's gotta be for maintenance. It's gotta be for farming, heavy industry. It's gotta play dual roles or triple roles even, because if it's not putting food on the table, what's it for? These were built for one thing and one thing only.
And it's probably something that's distracting Khalid Imam as he's moving through here. He keeps looking at these things and just being distracted by the machinery, the technology, the mechanics that had to go into building something like this. The logistics to get this many things built in an assembly line so quickly, underground.
Mm-hmm. Mirage would
They're-
probably go ahead.
They're works of art that need to be preserved and studied, replicated, not necessarily as war machines, but just the processes that brought them about.
Was going to say, and Mirage would probably be able to give you an estimate based off of the data you're pulling in, that the line move rate here, coupled with the elevator that you saw, is probably a line move rate of once every 5 minutes. Which means that a new mech was rolling off the line. Let me think here. 12 times an hour?
Going off of how, and this is something that Imam would be thinking as he's going down the line more towards the signal. Going off of how long the line is and how many stations they've passed, can she extrapolate? Because this is a good use of an LLM. Can she extrapolate based on that how long the general process to build one of these would have taken?
Let me do some math in my head, because that's not something I've thought about.
It was like, how
based
long
off-
does it take to build an airplane, for example?
So it depends. If I were going to compare this to, say, at the time, we would be talking F-22s.
So like 2 billion parts, or whatever.
Right. They're not giving me... Okay. I'm going to take my guess based off of what I know. So, the largest jet we build at work takes about... Well, okay. Is scheduled to take 16,000 man-hours. And we can't do it in 16,000 man-hours.
No, we cannot.
That's a lot of man-hours.
Yes, and it takes hundreds of people per line. These, you've got the advantage of automation. I can chop it up into 5 minutes worth of work and spread it over however many positions I need to. And as long as I keep all of the little arms supplied with parts or whatever they need, it should just run. Based off of what I have in my head for how long this railing is, you've got, let's see, a half mile, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 curves. You're talking... let me see here. Calculator. Where's my calculator?
I'm asking the big nerd questions.
But it's the questions I love, because 5 minutes a station, and we're gonna say that there are... Let me think here. Hold on. So... 2.5 miles, and let's say, what is it? Each of those half mile. So it looks like this line is efficient enough to get the build time on one of these mechs down to 1,250 hours. So, oops, it's not
Depending
minus
on how many
24.
employees.
Right.
Like, if you only had one dude working on it, that's a bad turnover rate. If you had 1,000 dudes, better.
And basically, the number I'm coming up with is 52 days. So, basically, one of these is on the line just shy of 2 months. Which, let's be honest, someone in this chat would agree. We wished some lines move. We wish a plane only took 2 months to build.
Just a miracle.
And planes don't have human bipedal shit to take into account. Bipedal walking is a
thorium
very
reactor
mechanically
cores.
stupid way of walking.
Yes. We also don't do weaponry.
Yeah, no.
You don't need to take some sort of gyro stabilization into account. I imagine the planes you guys build don't have gyros.
No, well, okay, yes, we have gyros. All of the avionics will have gyros.
Yeah.
But well, I was thinking like we build. Well, I don't know how much I should say of that. Anyway, already.
Give me government secrets, says the War Thunder Forum.
I would talk about any. I can't even say what's on my mind. Anyway.
That's classified.
Unfortunately.
That's all right.
Hold on. I'm fill space. Give me 2 seconds.
Fine then. Keep your secrets. So who's gonna want to blast the other random stranger they find in a dead mech factory first, you think?
Well, I could tell you right now, assuming that she could hear him coming, she's got her camo cloth thing, so she's gonna be hiding. And
Okay.
we'll figure it out.
I feel safe putting that there.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yikes.
yeah.
I've never hit that button.
What was I gonna say?
Yes, Recon Coop.
So yes. So yes. And it's about when they fill you in on that you come to about the center of the line. And the geotag, is actually pointed at what at first looks like a blank wall, before you realize a bundle of cords from the ceiling has sagged down to partially obscure a collapsing hallway.
Yeah. Carefully, Imam will move aside this bundle of wiring and volt lock first, pointing down this hallway, start creeping in until he can let the cords fall behind him.
Okay. You managed to work your way through, and you as well find yourself in this long hallway. You safely sweep the hallway and are just about to take your first step down it when we're going to cut to Ducks. Ducks, you hit the power cycle on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And as you touch the button, there is a bright flash of light emanates from this thing, almost temporarily blinding you as
Great.
you stumble backwards, slam your knees into a piece of concrete and fall.
Damn it!
And then it's like you're not there anymore, because your mind starts racing with thoughts that aren't your own, visions of places you've never been, windswept plains of grain, wide as they are long, an infinite blue sky stretched above you. And then it flashes to a muddy, dirty, rain-soaked barracks as you feel a fist connect with your jaw as it cuts, and then again you find yourself behind the barrel of a machine gun pointed the other direction across a field of barbed wire and tank traps as it cuts again and again and again to all of these feelings and emotions and images in your head that just overwhelm your senses. And then you manage to blink and you're back in the hall, or not quite the hall, the entranceway of this laboratory, this orb sitting in your lap. As you look around, you can tell that there's something different about this place. As your eyes track, it's like you've got someone's turned motion blur on just a little bit, and there's a small ghosting effect that takes place. And it's not like you have a earpiece on. It's like this voice is in your head.
Oh, no.
As you hear compatibility. Actually, sorry, hold on. As you hear
compatibility confirmed. Plant lockdown overridden. Please state your name or identification.
Oh, God. She's sitting there,
your
whirling
head is swimming. Go ahead.
mind whirling from what all she saw, knowing that it was no display on a screen. Those images played involuntarily in her mind. So, dealing with the fact that those emotions, all of that was not hers, but it felt real. She's like, God, a memory core. I didn't think it would actually implant things in me, but now it's talking to me. And then the realization, no earpiece, no anything on. Was it doing that? Definitely mild concern, but it asked her a question, and she's like, well, if it's already in, it could probably find out whether I tell it or not. So, Ducks Fundament?
Registering. That's fundament. Welcome.
And as it says that, aw, I'm sorry, Daniel. Sorry, Daniel messaged and yeah. Well, I wish you could be here.
Aw.
I really do. Okay. Hold on 1 second. You shake your head because as it says that, this. You're not sure what exactly you would call them. It's a silhouette of a figure, almost like a constellation, sitting on this table that you had just been standing at a moment ago. Legs crossed, swaying, feet swaying in the air as it goes.
Welcome to the Memory Core Experimental Version Victoria 01. You may call me Victoria, or if you prefer, Dr. Aiden Shields. As a personality construct of them, I feel I have a certain attachment to the name.
Dr. Shields? And then
Yes.
looking at this figure before her, she kind of assumes she's been on the floor this whole time because it quite literally knocked her out, but crawling over to this apparition, she's like, am I the only one that can see you, or are you actually there? And kind of reaching out, but very cautiously.
You said you're still crawling.
Probably. Yeah.
Speaking of, Imam, this bright flash of light down the hallway is still brighter than anything you've ever seen. You put your hand. No, we're not doing combat music right now. I don't want them to kill each
Damn,
other
I'm not-
if
I don't go shoot ducks.
not
You took
not
to me
I
at that
mean
point, Dan.
you I mean
That was
shit,
pretty
okay.
funny. that was God talking.
But you still put your hand in front of your face and you can see the bones through your fingers.
Ugh,
And
that's terrifying.
as and as the light dims, you are overcome with this overwhelming, sickening urge in the pit of your stomach. Like you ate something you shouldn't have, and it needs out now.
Oh, it's probably against Mirage's protests that he rips off his helmet just to hands on the side of this wall retch into a corner.
Yeah, and it's painful. But it's also your first smell, I guess, of real Aurelian air. And it's not at all like
smells
what
like
you
cancer.
expected. It might a little bit, but also it's so different than home. Home, it's manufactured, it's stale, it's run through a purifier. If anything, it smells like machine oil and hot electronics.
It smells like a bad refrigerator.
This smells like, well, like what you'd imagine a desert to smell like. It's dry and it stings your nostrils just a little bit, but it's, even through the sickness, got a comforting mustiness to it. Like an old library.
And there is a moment where Imam stands up in that catharsis that you get after you've been sick, that immediate aftermath where everything feels better, everything feels clear, where he takes 1-2 breaths more than are necessary, even as the blinking lights of Mirage yelling at him to put the helmet back on are still filling up this portion of the hallway, before it snaps that something had to cause that light. And then he slams the helmet back in place and takes off at a battle jog down the hallway with the Volt Lock ready.
Luckily for you, the helmet is only off long enough for you to receive the same amount of exposure as an aircraft worker receives in an 8-hour working day. Which is to say, Scotch Brighting an 8-foot section of primer.
So what you're saying is that this entire planet is a known carcinogen in the state of California.
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of it's kind of a shame. I understand what they were doing there. Like, hey, we want people to know if there are carcinogens and shit. And then businesses just went, I have to test.
Let's put it in everything.
It's just easy. It's just easier to put the label on there, whether or not it actually is. Because the thing is, I just don't know. And it costs money to do testing. And it costs nothing to change a label, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which sucks. Anyway. Yep. Businesses ruin everything. Anyway.
Yes.
As you take off down the hallway, you see a figure on her hands and knees, a memory core clutched to her chest as she's talking to the air.
Oh no.
Let's get a description
Probably
of ducks.
Yeah, how bad does this person look? Do they look like a crack? Did I wander into a crack den?
Could pass as crackhead. She does have at least the light mobility suit on or whatever. So, but she's got random parts and tools and things that you can tell she just ripped off the production floor behind you, shoved all in different pockets, crevices, and a pack. And, yeah, on her hands and knees, looking like she just got the shock of her life. I'd say in general, she's pretty casual looking. I wouldn't necessarily say rough, except maybe if you're put off by scars or grease stains from mechanical stuff.
She needs a haircut.
Yeah,
we
need a haircut.
Who doesn't need a haircut in a mech universe? Everybody needs a haircut.
For real. Yeah. It's wild and it's free.
Except your mom. Except your mom. Mom cuts his own hair, and it's anime perfect every time.
No, you look at that. He needs a haircut. He's got Luke Skywalker hair. He needs a haircut.
Okay.
Fair enough.
But,
so yes, you see this.
Yeah, and it's going to hold them up at gunpoint and be like, "Hands up!"
Ducks, you turn, and let's get a description of Khaledi Mom Calm.
Well, right now, with what they're wearing, it is a sealed environment helmet in a long, dark blue-gray cloak. Over top, muted dark green with orange accented. It's a void suit. It's sealed against everything, including the vacuum of space, but it has ablative armoring plates over major areas like the chest, the groin, the upper legs, things like that. But what's probably most striking to you in the moment is this strange, archaic, and yet advanced-looking long rifle, a caliver, in their hands that's whining to life from an energy battery.
Alright. Seeing
Oh
all
dear,
that.
it seems we have an intruder.
Only ducks can hear this. By just making that clear. If that voice is
it's funny,
on,
both
only
of them
ducks
have women
can
in
hear
their
this.
heads. Both of them have sassy VI women in their heads, because Mirage is also like,
Remember, escalating a conflict to violence should be a last solution.
Alright. In response to the thing, Dr. Shields speaking to me, I'm like, did you hear that? And then looking at the gun.
You're not
It's
beating the crackhead allegations.
No, I'm looking and I'm like, oh, that's nice.
I said hands up!
And it's at that moment that the lights in the factory come to life.
and there is a brief moment, Dux, where you can tell by the way that the helmet tilts up that this stranger is not focused on you for just a moment.
Alright. And at that, memory core in my hand, quickly stands and what do I do have something as well. I was honestly trying to decide what I would like it to be. But I have a medium signature. I'll say it's like maybe a no. Sorry, I'm trying to say. Basically, she pulls
You're
out
fine.
what she has, which isn't quite a rifle, but it's more like, some type of blaster or something that she carries around.
Mm-hmm. So you whip
Right
that out?
Right as Imam refocuses and Mirage goes, "Oh dear."
Alright,
Oh.
and then Dux.
Let's not do anything that we don't regret, please. After all, violence in the facility is frowned upon.
Right. Look, finders keepers, alright? And then.
Oh, that's great. Finders keepers.
I came across half an astrological unit for that, and I am not leaving without it.
Well,
And that's when
Sorry.
you hear two things. Sorry. Lo, if you have something to say, go ahead real fast.
oh no, all I said was, well, sorry about that.
You hear two things. You hear the machinery down the hall spin back into life. Actually, you hear three things. Second, you hear the line start to move, which is causing a great deal of instability in the factory. Mostly, the roof is starting to collapse. And third, you swear you heard roof-mounted security turrets maybe coming out of their pods and slides being racked on machine gun turrets, maybe?
Damn it. We're not getting out of here unless we work together.
All right.
Oh, so now you want to... Hold on.
Oh,
Imam-
so now he wants to work together.
Yeah, I'll say.
Is practical enough to know that he's not fighting his way out of this before the roof collapses with a laser flintlock.
If it would help in this moment, please advise that memory core is imprinted upon one individual at a time and would have to be brought to a repair facility to be re-registered.
But maybe you've got
That's
bigger
still
things.
Yeah, that's still Shields talking to me, right? Sorry, I'm getting
Yes,
Okay.
that voice is Shields, and it's only to you.
Okay, yeah. Basically, Dux is like, okay, thanks, but out loud, and then being like, okay, you really can't hear that? And,
What are you talking about?
oh no. And then she kind of does a quick, I'm not nuts, I swear, but we don't have time to talk about this. So, what way did you come in?
The same way you came in. Motioning down the hallway.
Assumes, yeah.
Well, the hall.
Right, the hall, the stairs, and yeah, she's racking her brain because hearing the gun turrets and everything else, she's like, I don't know why everything turned on, but now that it's on, oh no. And just thinking about all the times that Gramps talked about instability and structure and beyond mechs and all these things, like, this place is gonna collapse if they don't get slaughtered by whatever is whirring to life.
And Imam is going to move back into the hallway, but keep back pressed to one of the walls. Basically, he's gone into CQB cool boy mode. Move to the opposite door, but try to present a low profile. Watch your corners, all that.
It seems as if we have a, for the moment, ally.
Yes. Okay. And so at that, Dux keeps the weapon out, but she kind of stows the memory core orb thing in one of her packs and begins to move in the same direction. She does have camo cloth, but she doesn't know if she needs to use it yet, so she's kind of got that on standby in case she needs to hide.
Okay. It does not seem like Dr. Shields is really aware of, like, the potential dangers here, because she's not really paying attention to the whole factory collapsing thing. She's more or less talking about the memory core.
Yeah.
As I'm sure you've already read from the manuals, this is an experimental version of your standard portable memory core. This one is complete with memory integration, 3D retinal etching technology, and built-in engram support. That would be me.
Great.
You-
Great. Do you know
You're not sure
anything?
what's that?
You keep talking to yourself.
I'm not. I'm like, there's a voice. I don't know. It's inside me.
And there's actually probably a moment in his helmet where Mirage goes, "Remember, little one? Glass houses."
Yes, but you're in my helmet, not my head. That's different.
Yeah. And that is exactly what Imam says. Like, he turns off the comms using his data plate to talk to Mirage and says,
You are in my helmet, not my head.
There's a difference.
And
and
Dux
she
is
says,
just
I
looking
don't
at
believe that we have the time to be arguing semantics right now.
Dux
As you
just
guys
watching
make
him.
your way back. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just said Dux is watching him get frustrated, and she's like, "Oh, look who's talking."
All
But
right.
you can't see anything. His helmet has like an opaque visor, and most of it is just armor.
Sure, but could
It's
I
in your
hear?
body language.
Yeah, a
Head
little.
tilted to one side like he's not fully paying attention.
So, you guys make your way back down this hallway. As you look, and yes, this it looks like that the line had just shifted. And it's caused a lot of problems because those, holes in the ceiling where support beams had broken in half and come to sit down. Yeah, they're laying on the floor, collapsed now. And yes, you do in fact see security turrets from the ceiling pointing downwards in a sweeping motion.
Are they turned towards us yet?
No, but the bigger concern is the rubble falling from the sky.
Yeah.
We have to time this.
Because what Imam assumes is that these things are spinning in a 360-degree arc, and if we go at the right time, we can just run past.
Well, let's see some rolls from the two of you.
Can I read a situation in order to tell that that's what's actually going on?
I'll allow it. What about ducks?
All right. Well, yeah, she's noticed the turrets, and obviously she noticed the things on the ground. So,
One off a crit.
yeah. So she agrees. Yeah, we gotta go. And
Okay.
I have stay cool, so I'll do that one. Public roll.
That I think works. Yes, absolutely. Oh my god. All right.
We're so cool.
So cool. At first, both of you guys start walking in opposite directions because one of you parked one way, one of you parked the other way. So which way are we going? Whose whip are we taking?
I thought you said it was the same way.
I meant the hallway. I didn't know there was
Oh.
a second way into the facility.
Oh.
Come on, this way. I have a mech and I can take you somewhere else.
My Broomhilda. She reluctantly follows.
Van Hilda, that's an interesting name. German in origin, if I believe.
You ignore her because it's not the time, I take it.
Yeah.
I can't hear her, so I can't say anything. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm getting messed up on the voices. That was
Yes.
That's my bad.
Yes. No, you're fine. Anytime that voice, it's always going to be for ducks.
Right. Sorry,
Because
getting-
I don't need to. I don't use Mirage. Okay.
Right. She just doesn't go.
Yeah.
Yep. Cartoon witch, German legend, blah blah blah, and then.
So,
Is now really the time to be arguing with the devil in your head about stories?
He unfortunately is mistaken. I'm not actually in your head. I'm in your eye. Or at least the 3D retinal technology that did in fact etch. Well, that's classified, but suffice to say that I can see what you see and consequently hear what you hear, and you can see me.
it says as it appears in front of you, sitting on top of a mech off in the distance and waving.
And if that like if Dux like staggers in their step from that, Iman probably reaches back and takes them by the wrist and just starts tugging them along.
All right, don't touch me.
No touchy. No touchy.
Yeah.
But yes.
Picky.
Yes, you're
thief.
dragged. Speaking of ducks, there are a ton of things that you did not get a chance to see that would be really nice to have, like servos that aren't third or fourth hand, and more bearings, and electrical wire that actually looks like it hasn't been sitting in UV light for 50 years. And that's a headlight. Oh my god, nobody has a headlight for these things anymore.
She's like, oh god, this is a gold mine. And then watching the stuff that's kind of word to life, like, that's amazing to see as well. So she's just like, oh no. And this is, hey, Dr. Shields, can you tell how long before this place collapses?
You ask that, and a turret from the ceiling dislodges, falls, and slams right onto this workbench that the two of you are not 10 feet from. As it whirs down and shuts off.
Based on my calculations, I'm guessing anywhere between the next 10 seconds and 50 years.
Damn. Practically in tears, just because that sucks. As she's going along, though, with Khalid, she's looking anywhere and everywhere for something just by her feet or close enough. She might just reach out and try to get it, but nothing too far, though.
What is it like, Imam, as you try and... Go ahead.
Yeah, leading her away, sees as like,
I see that the memory core is not enough for your little pockets.
You can never be too careful. Besides, do you even know what models these are? This is great!
You don't understand. GS never changes their servo designs. These things will work on my mech.
just sighs, shakes his head. Something like a power converter nearby explodes. He starts walking a little bit faster. Running a little bit faster. We are not walking.
No, yeah,
And
we're jogging at best.
We're jogging at worst.
I was gonna say, you guys are, as you're making your way, go ahead.
No, you're good, you're good.
As you guys are making your way out of this facility, you see that giant mech, getting close to it now. It was a Sagarmatha. the size 2 mech, Rowan,
Yes.
Imam, that had been positioned at the end of the track has now been dumped off of the track, and because it didn't have it wasn't on, it didn't stay balanced and is pitched face forward into the giant mech elevator doors and is kind of just flattened them.
I think we're going through the people doors.
Oh no. But not, oh
You
no.
guys-
Like,
She's like,
going
oh, no.
up those stairs like 2 or 3 stairs at a time.
You feel the factory start to rumble underneath you.
I have an updated estimate on the remaining time until this factory collapses. My new estimate is now.
Oh god.
As you're working your way up this factory, you manage to get up the stairs and you see daylight finally as you burst through this open doorway out into the ground, but you're not safe yet because you're watching as the ground, which is the roof of this place, starts to cave in around it. The elevator starts to shake and the doors fall in. The Barbarossa sitting on the ground begins to sink into it as the ceiling starts to give way below it. You make
We're not stopping.
No, you rush your way out of there as the ground starts to give way beneath the two of you. And as you're reaching the edge of this place, Imam, the ground gives out underneath you. The only thing you have now is one hand scrabbling trying to find purchase, and the other your arm on Dux's wrist. Other than that, you are free floating beneath a 10-story drop. Above a 10-story drop.
He's going to try first, looking down and seeing all that. He's going to first just try to take control and, through sheer power of adrenaline, pull them up.
Dux is still on solid ground, so you're going to try and pull yourself up using Dux's arm?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Dux,
Dux, you got anything on your end?
yeah, catching on that he is free floating and still holding on to me. She's yanking as hard as she can in the opposite direction to try to get him, at least to get him a foothold.
And if you don't have anything, you can just roll a flat D20.
Would you allow take control, since I'm using
Yes.
direct action to take control of this situation?
Yes.
Mamma mia.
That's a spicy...
Oh, do I need to go
And-
too?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do the stay cool again because that's kind of the athletics type one.
Damn good. I'm already losing this character.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
man, I'm dead.
It's not just... It's not just you. So, Dux, you are yanked.
Off of your feet as
Your voice came in.
You are yanked off of your feet. As Imam, you are, for a moment, suspended over this cavern. Your grasp slipping as the clothing underneath your hand is starting to tear. Dux, you are basically laying on this edge, desperately trying to grab his wrist with your hand as he's just dangling there. And you feel the shelf you're laying on start to slowly crumble underneath you. And you hear,
It looks like you might be in danger. Is there something I can do to assist?
Can you? That would help a lot. And as she's pulling the hold on, Mr. Frodo.
Mr. Frodo.
Well, I can use my emergency backup power to provide a temporary pulling force. Would you like to give that a try?
Yes, right now. Thank you.
go ahead and roll another d20. Give yourself a +4 bonus to see if you're able to hold on as you suddenly feel G-forces in the opposite direction.
Do I need to... Can I do that on the manual adjust when I'm up before I roll it? Or can I just add it?
I think we'll just add it afterwards, because I think the manual adjust will do.
All right, that's a... Didn't you know what the number was? 15, huh? You manage to wrap your hand around and grab his wrist as you feel your backpack yank you up off of your feet and into the air. There's a moment where the two of you are just... It feels like time has slowed to a crawl as you're both suspended over the air, in air, before everything speeds back up again, and you both are thrown into a berm of scrap and rust as you come to a stop next to each other as the shelf completely gives way, not 10 feet from you.
Gee, that was exciting. I am going to need to go into low power mode to conserve my remaining reserves. Please consider plugging this unit in. And note that complete battery degeneration is not healthy for power supplies.
Okay. Thanks. And like looking at the near-death experience right before them, and Dux turns to Lid and goes, voices, and and he says, we gotta go, and starts to scramble out of the pile.
Slowly staggering up, catching his breath, nodding, and then pointing a different direction than when you start going. Is like, that way.
That way?
There's probably a copse of trees or something growing nearby, and in the midst of it, you can vaguely, when it's pointed out to you, note the outline of a mech hunched down on one knee.
Oh, yes. Alright.
I don't have an extra crew space, but I can carry you.
Annoyed by that because she's like, if we would have gone to Brunhilde, but no.
I didn't know how far away you were
and I didn't think we had enough time. Someone had to take charge to make sure that memory core got out.
Right. Yeah. And the one who's mentally paired with it apparently is impaired. Whatever.
I didn't say it.
Imam,
Just leaves it. I didn't say it.
Imam, you have no clue what she's talking about with mental pairing.
Yeah, that
with memory cores. To you, you're like, it's guys, it's literally a fucking external hard drive. Just a big one with lots of good info on it, usually.
My thumb drive's talking to me, man.
Basically, yeah. It would be as if I said, dude, my USB, like, really opened my eyes.
Dude, I'm on some of that good micro C shit.
I'm like, I've never been more enlightened, and I'm loving it, man. Sorry.
As they are walking towards Castiferum, Imam is actually going to radio to the ship to expect an additional passenger.
Kinjar 1, I'm sorry. You said what?
Expect additional passenger. This person is already in possession of the memory core and claims that it's neuro-linked to them somehow.
Kinjar 1, that's a negative. You know the protocol.
And then you hear on your microphone or on your headset the sound of the klaxon going off.
Kinjar 1, Kinjar Actual. I'm not sure what's going. You're gonna have to just make your way to the, and then we'll be there.
We need to hurry. It does not sound like our ride out of here is being treated fairly by the locals.
And
All right. Give me a ride. You're still gonna drop me at Fruit Hills, right? Like, oh, and what about mine?
Yeah, as he approaches Castiferum, its chest opens up. He pops inside, and you probably do hear the main system activating combat mode before it stoops down and offers a hand for her to ride on, like hop into its arm.
Whatever. The kids, not really much of a choice at this point.
Probably puts you, and it's a bit difficult to get onto its shoulders and like ride it piggyback, because it both has what you have to assume to be multi-theater movement suites of some kind of jet propulsion assistance, as well as a mortar undeployed on its shoulder.
Yeah. As Dux is working her way around these things, finding the ideal position, she does have equipment and things that she's just barely pulling out to make sure she's securely fastened, and she's like, I'm not hurting anything, I'm just making sure I'm not gonna fall off. And then
the mech ride is a lot more. Did you just quote fucking Twilight?
Yes. I've ruined the game. Episode 1, it's canceled.
Well, everybody pack bags, rocks fall, everyone dies. No.
Everyone falls, rocks die, because that's about what happened.
And
It's so clever.
it's a lot more comfortable of a ride for Imam than it is Ducks. It's not like trying to ride a bull, but it definitely is gonna feel like you tried to ride one tomorrow.
Yeah.
Especially
But
because he is pushing this thing. He is boosting it over and over and over. And when it boosts,
Mhm.
like turns a corner, boosts to regain that speed, the thing hops and goes airborne. So there are those sickening lurches in your stomach when this thing does like skipping bunny hops.
Hmm.
And while
And-
Dux is securely attached, she's braced herself every time, and she does make the comment. She's like, "I admire the airborne feature, like the height, impressive, but otherwise, this is not a good ride."
As you make your way towards where I'm assuming Ducks you geotagged or are telling him where to find Brunhilde, you will be delighted to know, Lady Momcom, that the Stormfront has halved its distance and seems to be heading in your general direction. Maybe headed towards your, the landing site. I'm just trying to find a different way of saying it instead of, you shutting off the bitch and Betty again. Because I could do a real good bitch and Betty. Altitude, roll right, pull up.
As long as I don't get any warning, AP at 10%. No repair kits remaining.
God, I did try and look for an Armored Core OST to add to this, but I didn't find it.
You didn't
what
like
I did find, though?
You didn't like a. Uh-oh.
I listened to the original, I listened to 2, and I listened to 5.
6 has some good stuff.
Okay. But that being the case, you eventually arrive at Brunhilde. Now, we've heard a little bit of what Imam's mech looks like. What does Brunhilde look like?
Oh my god,
Right.
it's Brunhilde!
Okay.
She's full of strudel!
I'd say kind of like standard mech body looking type thing. You've got turrets for looks like rockets, and probably the auto smart system artillery she has are on the back of the shoulder blades poking out of there, and then on the one side you have a standard like mech arm hand situation. On the other side it's kind of just like a giant drill. At first I was like, no. I was like, nah, that's fun. And she's got the excavator thing going on, so I was like, I might as well just put a drill there. Why not?
Holy
So-
shit, she's a Gurren Lagann character. She's
Oh,
an
what?
excavator. Her mech's got a drill. Hers is the drill that will pierce the heavens.
I'm having to look this up because
Who the hell do you
I-
think she is?
But yeah, and I'm thinking
hmm,
kind of like the plate covering stuff. It's a bit blocky, but it's still like kind of sharp and looks cool. You got kind of a gray bluish hue to it in the light, and definitely some custom stuff here and there. It's well put together. It's no, jungle gym of stuff, but you can tell there's been a lot of repairs and things altered together. But good craftsmanship though. And
It's not
note
junkyard
the
mechanics.
yeah, and then you've got this kind of a tendril horde of wires coming out the back. Not like wings necessarily. It's more like just kind of all over the place, poking out, like for any various type of plug-in you could imagine. Like it's back there. And you can tell ready to use at a moment's notice.
As a short aside, I just want people to know that I searched Gurren Lagann, and one of the first thing that pops up is a Reddit post whose title is "I've just finished Gurren Lagann, and it was one of the worst anime experiences I've ever had."
Dude, this guy's a pussy. Fuck him.
The title's only a year old now. It
This
was
guy
posted by
ended
somebody
anime
whose
that ended with-
username is the Depressed Turtle. So
Well, yeah,
Mhm.
okay. This guy clearly doesn't like it when his anime ends with mechs that throw literal galaxies at each other. This
TLDR, the show started off
People
strong with absolutely amazing visuals, but it didn't take long for it to completely lose the sauce and never get it back.
I mean, he's only kind of wrong. He's only kind of wrong. It only kind of turns mid until the very end, where the writer ran out of ideas and decided to just snort a line of coke and go crazy and nearly bankrupt the entire animation studio.
Who
By
hasn't
going,
gone?
well, what if we had giant mech battle where they're throwing the fucking Kosmos at each other?
Well, you have to understand, sir, I can only do 25 cells a day.
No,
You-
no. They need to throw black holes at each other.
But I can only do 25 cells a day. I already went up 5 from 20. My fingers hurt. My arms are sore. My nail beds are bleeding.
Doesn't sound like team spirit to me. But yeah.
Okay. So-
Other than me realizing that we do have an unintentional Gurren Lagann reference with an excavator mech, Imam will allow you down. The Castaferum will stoop down and let you off. He's not going to kidnap you yet.
Right. Now that she's at her mech, kind of whips around and says, "Thanks for the ride," but backing up to the mech and pulling the orb out of the pack. And he's like, "No funny business. I'm the one that has this thing." And she kind of gets in. Trying to think how the load-in would be. I guess maybe she's almost climbing it like a jungle gym, and then puts herself in more kind of.
And as she's climbing up into it, the mom comes over the intercom of this thing. It's like, my kithmates might be dying. We came here to secure this memory core and bring it back to Saros.
All right. Where is their shit? And as the head kind of almost comes off the shoulders in a way like how the lid of a tank is, and she just drops herself inside and closes it.
I'm forwarding the landing zone to your systems now. Yeah, you get a data drop ping. Someone would like to share contact information with you.
Hey, Mom, 69, 69, 67.
Because 69, 69, 66 was already taken.
Right, that's
Alright.
totally the
He's
reason.
up.
So are you guys planning on traveling together?
I think so. Unless there's been battle afoot, in which case I might have to shoot my friend in the back. Might have to laser. Might have to go crazy.
Dux was definitely thinking about it, but since he said people might be dying and the whole orb saying, please recharge me, so she's like, alright, I don't really have a choice. They probably have the technology to recharge this and mess with it anyway. And so, yeah, she's like received with the coordinates, and yeah, she's ready to go wherever he's going.
I love how the best the memory core can do is
Remember, never run your batteries dry. Lithium-ion does not like being...
whatever the word is.
All right. Yeah, it's like, conserve the power. Conserve the power. I got it.
But yes, the two of you make your way through this battlefield wasteland to the edge of town. You're about 3 clicks from where this landing zone is. And that's where you see it. Because as we end off today, you have a motion detection alert, both of you on your HUDs, as you see a shooting star streak slowly across the sky. Except you're pretty sure that's not a shooting star. And it looks like it's heading right towards the landing site.
Can't find good
All my
help
friends are
nowadays.
dead. All my friends are dead. Sorry.
Can't find good help these days.
I think that is where we're going to leave off for today. All right. Let's get some sign-offs. Let's start with you, Mom.
Hi ho, friendolas, my name is Ron, otherwise known as Tag. I'm here today playing Khalid and I'm calm, who is not very calm because everything was going wrong and now he's stuck on shit town. He's stuck in the zone, and there's not even a wish maker to go looking for. Now he's stuck with a crackhead because that crackhead turned on the funny USB. You can also catch me here this Saturday, where I will be in Napple 2.0 0 Hour, where we are going to be doing some planning for a heist assassination. It's going to be crazy. I hope that I get to go xenomorph on a bunch of people. That'll be a fun way to end a season.
We totally roofied someone for science. I mean, for the good of the good of the mission.
Let's not lie, for profit.
No, for the good of Napple.
Cash.
No, for the good of Napple.
Yeah. And my bank account. So anyway.
It was not our finest hour.
I think that's it for me.
Go ahead, Lo.
Okay. Alright. This is Lo. At LowWit36 on Instagram. Playing here in Kosmos. Dux Fundaman. Accused crackhead, but not in the way of insane, more just in the way of like a rat that seeks mechanical parts. Yes, paired with the memory core. So now she's got an involuntary voice that could be helpful, hopefully helpful, and they seem polite, so she's hoping for the best, but
also doesn't like the fact that she's the only one that can see or hear them. And, yeah, looking forward to what's next. Looking at that shooting star, as you said, and feeling the impending sense of doom. And that's it.
So cooked.
And that brings it to me. Hello, everybody. My name is Cyrus Smith. Today, you caught me running the Echoes of Kosmos, which I think has gotten off to a great start because there is nothing better than taking two people that you're like, okay, so I'm going to put these two in a room, and how do I keep one from shooting the other? You know what? I'll just wink. You know what? I'll just rocks fall the building, and yeah, there you go. Did not expect how close the two of you came from turning into so much tenderized flesh, but it all worked out for the better. And you can also find me on, Saturdays, where yes, we roofied one guy, but he was rich, and we just wanted his key card. And you know what? None of this is sounding.
You're not helping.
Anyway,
You're not helping.
Rather than eat the rich.
But no, you don't understand. If you just understood, you would agree with me.
Shut up!
Okay. So let's get out of here on a. Oh gosh, what are we getting out of here?
R.I.P. spaceship.
All right. Oh yeah, I did blow that up. You know, I feel like as a player and as a GM, I just leave casual destruction in my wake. So much so, I don't remember half of it, even after I've only just done it.
Once again, you blew up the op.
The wicked power you hold.
Don't matter what job you're doing, or if you're even part of the job, you blow up the op.
I mean, you guys, not my fault. You should have more sternly people.
Says God.
Wow. You should have more stern. I am not omnipotent nor omniscient. So, but yeah, you probably should have just told people more sternly not to touch your boats. That fixes everything, right?
For all we know, this may be how people find out not to touch our boats.
This is true. So, let's get out of here on an RIP ship. Boat. Whatever.
R.I.P. boat. That's